Hi, I'm Stefanie Wainwright. I'm a wife, a mom, a business owner, and my life is chaotic all the time. So I created this podcast to help you find the funny, the good, while navigating through the chaos. This is Chaotic Compass Podcast.
Okay, here we go. Chaotic Compass Podcast, Stefanie here. Solo tonight. What's up, y'all? I am going to get into topic of feeling like you're waiting around for the other shoe to fall, right? Okay, so let me just give you a little bit of what's going on in my life so I can kind of get into the feeling of that and then the definition of that, why there's a scientific background in that, and how to possibly circumnavigate that. So let's go. All right. So I feel like the other shoe is about to fall because we have had so much positive things going on, right? Everybody wants positive things, good things to go right. And I feel like too many things are going right and you're waiting for it. Over the last few years, it has constantly been one more thing. You've heard me bitch on here before. One more thing. It's one more thing. It's one more thing of what the fuckery. I'm constantly on the guard. I've got my shoulders are all tight. I'm ready for the fight. I'm ready to just keep going. And then all of a sudden, shit's going right this year. So it's like a different kind of what the fuck. We've got, the head boat is going great. It's not the best fishery. We've had a few things going on, but because we're in the middle of, by the time this airs should be in August, but it's the middle of July. And so we've had a few days where it's not the greatest, but it kind of seems to ebb and flow just exactly like the tide. And we've got that going on. We're actually making my goals. I have my goals posted behind me on the wall, and it's a thing, and I try to meet those every month. Last month I think was short by a few thousand bucks, which is like, that's really amazing because last year I made these goals and they didn't happen because we had some asshole run into the back of our boat in the middle of our season in July. We just had our wreck-iversary just the other day, and so like that's something. So that was something that happened last year that I didn't anticipate, right? I'm looking for the what the fuck moments. 2020, nobody knew that COVID was going to shut down everything, and then 2021 that kind of happened to me, and so I was still circumnavigating COVID and trying to circumnavigate running a business full time because I'd finally actually made the big leap overcoming full time. And then this year, so I'm actually, running it full time, and things are going okay. They're not great. We're still having days where it's like, okay, we only made like $350 this, today, like gross. And so it's like, okay, that really isn't going to pay the bills. And so, but we're having really grandiose weekends. And so it's kind of offsetting those crap weekdays. So July is going amazing. I'm going to meet and exceed my goal for July. Another amazing thing that's happening is that we've been fighting for a year with the guy that hit our boat to settle for our loss of revenue. It isn't official because I don't have the check in my bank account, but we finally have settled on a number, and so that's a positive thing going in the right direction. So I've got all of these positive things that are going on, and I'm waiting for the other shoe to fall. Like, what is that? Why am I waiting for the other shoe to fall? What's going on with that? And so I'm trying to do a little research on why. What is that? Okay. And so I don't know if you know the terminology, you're waiting for the other shoe to fall. So if you aren't familiar with that term, it's you're waiting for a seemingly inevitable event to occur. And typically, it's a negative event. The other terminology that I read that kind of it's an anticipatory anxiety. I have mastered anxiety. It's not anything new. It is what it is. But it's you are anxious about an event that's going to happen that isn't a known event. Cool. Great. So my brain's fucking with me even more. That's great. Okay, cool. I was reading in the New York Times about, okay, so how do you put some scientific, why is my brain this way? So it's this scientific research that comes from it's worry that's stealing your joy. Your anxiety is taking over. You've got this mental mindset that is taking away from your potential joy. I mean, yeah, it could potentially be bad, but it could potentially be joyful too. And you're not talking about the joy, you're talking about the potential negative. And I think it's really a whole bunch of you're literally living in the fear of the future, especially since COVID. I mean, I know that I'm definitely more fearful of what's around the corner since COVID. It's made me more hyper aware, and I know that is a form of PTSD. I have PTSD from COVID as far as I'm afraid of what's going to happen next, because certain people can shut down not only my business, but can shut down a whole economy. And I have a hard time with that I have no control over that. Was I hyper aware that I had control over that before? No, because I didn't know that was a thing. And then all of a sudden, COVID made it very hyper aware that certain individuals can shut down the government, can shut down whole everything as they deem fit. That's scary for me. Is it for the best interest of everybody? Potentially, but it's scary because I don't know where my next paycheck could come from. And so I'm sitting over here oh my God. And so I still have that PTSD. Okay, so I've got something that's good chugging along here with my cool train, and I don't know if I'm going to get derailed soon. It's literally about control for me. But if I really think about it, I didn't have control before. I'm just more aware now that there's certain aspects that people can come in and shut that down. That's hard for me. That I'm doing everything that I can possible, and that somebody above me can say, hey, by the way, we changed our mind and we're going to shut you down. And that can be with another pandemic, that can be with the Coast Guard with my boat because we're annually inspected, that can be with a numerous of things, and I don't want to go into that because I could sit here and spiral, but it can be a numerous of things that can be detrimental to not only my business but me as financially trying to be stable and where we're at. COVID has just made me more hyper aware, and I'm sure that's the case for you. I think there was a study that I had read that it was 85% of people are more dreadful of the future. Wow, can I not talk tonight? 85% of people are more dreadful of the future than they were back prior to COVID. So there was always the people that are dreadful before, but 85% more of the population are more concerned about the future post-COVID. And that might be because of the state of the economy, that we're potentially in another recession, that gas prices are increased, that inflation is so high. That there's a lot of factors here, but it still is very prevalent as far as people are more hyper aware. We're paying more attention now. And it's like, I think everybody was kind of in that, and this is me making speculations, but I think everybody was kind of in that we're riding the wave. We were on that high. We were all like, consumer spending was, we were good and we were riding that wave. And then COVID happened and it crashed really hard, really fast. And nobody was anticipating, and it took us a really long time to kind of get back to that. And then everybody was back to that. But the manufacturing side of that wasn't back to that. And so it's supply versus demand. Google it. It's fine. How do you stop letting worry steal your joy? It's a great question, right? I feel that there's so many people that have like these bad auras. Have you ever been around that? Like you just like can kind of sit around somebody. I know this is me and I don't know that's woo woo or whatever, but I think negative energy breeds negative energy, right? So I had this customer just this past week, and he had came out to, he had a big group that was coming out on Saturday, but he came out on Wednesday to test the waters, I guess, to report back to his crew, hey, here's some pictures, here's my fishtail story, right? I'm all for it. Like, I'm not, dogging you like on you doing that, but he had already kind of set the pretense when he was making his reservations as far as his stance and his aura on how he had been jaded before and how he's expecting to be jaded again. And so if you were expecting that, well, you're kind of putting this negative energy out there. And every time I would talk to him on the phone, I could feel it. It was just like, gosh, like you're kind of sucking me dry here. And I kind of just need to like, not answer the phone for a hot minute to kind of regain me. But he came out on the Wednesday. That Wednesday morning, we didn't catch shit, which is crazy. We didn't catch shit. I think they were catching, tiny little fish the whole time. Didn't hear anything about that trip. That afternoon, I did hear about because they caught a fuck ton of sea mullet, which is crazy and amazing at the same time. And so that's how our business goes, and you just kind of run with it. It's fishing, not catching. The guy had called me Friday. So he went out fishing Wednesday. I didn't get a report on how the fishing had gone Wednesday. And so this guy called in Friday telling me that he didn't catch shit on Wednesday. He's getting ready to bring, I think originally had like 26 people signed up to come out with us the next day on Saturday, that Saturday morning. And he was telling me, we didn't catch shit on Wednesday. I need to know what you guys were catching, because he called me Friday afternoon. I need to know what you guys are catching today so I can report back to my people, because I've got a lot of people that are not wanting to go tomorrow because of what I reported back to them for Wednesday. If you've ever been fishing, okay? You just, like, it is what it is. I have never guaranteed fish. But anyways, this guy's already got this negative aura. He came out on the boat, put that negative aura out there. The fish were like, oh, hell no. Like, I need to get zen. I'm not hooking on your hook. And so Friday, he's calling me concerned. And, Friday morning was a little bit slow, but that afternoon, they were raking it in. And I reported exactly what the mate and the captain were telling me. Saturday morning, I was supposed to have 55 people. I had 49 people on that boat. It was a pretty full boat. They didn't catch shit. But funny thing is, that afternoon they did. The night trip I was on, we caught 2 bluefish, which is like crazy. Like bluefish, like some decent sized bluefish too. We caught keeper gray trout on that night trip. And so it's like, how can I prove to this guy that we caught fish other than photos. And so, but whatever. And so he came out. It is what it is. His whole group didn't tip. My mates didn't make shit. And that's what pisses me off the most. If you're going to come out on my boat, these guys work for tips and tips only. And that's messed up. So if you're going to come out here and then you're not only going to have a horrible time, you're spreading that aura. You're making it a bad time for not only you, but the people around you. Like, I had a regular customer that was getting fucking annoyed by this guy. Okay. She was about to like go after this guy. And I'm like, you know what? Like, I will pay your bail. I'll go ahead and pay your bail. Just take this guy out. Knock him the fuck out. Okay. Like, I'm not condoning that, but you just get to a point where it's like you're sick of hearing people bitch. I'm just sick of people bitching. Like, it's fishing. It's fishing. You put your freaking hook down there. I can't tell the fish to hook on there. Okay? This guy had the audacity to call back on Sunday to just bitch more about it, right? And because we didn't comp his tickets or give him anything, oh my gosh, the slew of like just rude off the wall comments, like just so much negative energy, right? Just negative energy is breeding negative energy. Not once did I talk to this guy, did he have a positive vibe, and I could feel it through the fucking phone. That's how much of a negative aura. 2 days he went fishing and 2 days he didn't catch shit. And he's telling me, well, the last time he was on the boat, he didn't catch shit. And it's like, it might be you. Just my theory. But it is what it is. But when it comes to worry and your negativity, you are allowing your brain, because it's in your brain. Worry is not an actual thing. Worry is manifested in your brain. Fear is not an actual thing. It is only lives inside your brain and lives inside people's brains. If you allow that to live in there, you're allowing it to steer you and to manifest into different things, right? And I'm the first one fetal position right here on this floor, hyperventilating, panic attack, massive, just can't console me because I'm freaking out about the unknown. So I am the first to say I've let it get to me. So you're not the only one. I'm talking to you because I'm going to go back and listen to myself say, hey, Steph, this is what you need to do. Okay? This is what you need to do. But before we get into what you need to do to cope with trying to circumnavigate the other shoe falling, to circumnavigate the negative energy that you're manifesting, let's talk about, I got to pop it out of the koozie. I was trying to keep it cold. Let's talk about what we're drinking. Okay, so Ryan picked these up. It's Crown Royal has a peach tea. It's in a can. It's 7%, 12 ounce. We're gonna, can's kind of cool. It's got this, like, it's ribbed. It's fine. So check it out. Let's get in here. Oh, yep. Peach is oozing everywhere. All the peach all the time. Okay. Summer drink, summer peachy. Okay, here we go. Okay, it's not as strong as a peach as I was anticipating because it smells like wicked peach, but I don't think it's half bad. Crown's not one of my fave, but you can't really taste the crown. It's literally like a peach tea with a twang. Did I just find my new summer drink? I don't know. This is actually legit. Okay, let's talk about how do we circumnavigate some negative energy? How do we get around the other shoe falling mentality? Okay? Let's go. All right. So my thing, how I deal with it, or at least how I'm attempting to deal with it, like, stop letting your brain run it. When you start when you start going down a negative hill, you have to figure out how to come up. And that's my biggest thing. And I am thankful for my husband. When he sees me spinning, he's like, okay, you have to do the 5, right? All right, so what's 5 things you can see? What's 4 things you can touch? What's 3 things you can smell? What's 2 things you can, it's just go through your senses, okay? Touch, taste, smell, hear, see. Yeah. So go through, just assign a number to each one of those things. And it's going to make your brain be more cognizant of the things that are outside. And it's going to be able for you to get outside of your brain and to be able to focus on that, take a breather, be able to become rational, to be able to work through it. I promise you, it sounds a hell of a lot more complicated than it is. But you literally just 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, it. Literally just pick a sense. All right, what's one thing you can smell right now? And it's like, okay, I can smell my candle that I was burning last night. What's 2 things you can hear? I hear my fan, which I probably should have cut off before this, and it is what it is. And I can hear my podcast and my headphones. Just there's 5 senses, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 it. The other thing that we do on a weekly basis is we pick 3 things from the week. We do this on Fridays, typically after dinner or before bed, depending on if we have the kids or not. 3 things from the week that you are grateful for, that you accomplished in that week. Like, typically my number, I didn't kill my husband this week. My husband is still alive. I'm not in jail. But pick 3 things and celebrate those, because a lot of times people keep writing off their hard work as luck. You aren't taking in those moments of awesomeness and really indulging in that. You're just thinking that it's some, stars align, Mercury was in retrograde, and you lined up and it happened. And it's not just that. Like, you worked your ass off, celebrate you. Celebrate the things that got you there to be able to accomplish those things in the week. And if you didn't accomplish things in the week that you were set out to be, look at the little things. Like, I was able to cook an amazing meal on Wednesday. Did I? No, fuck no. I'm just, like, think about the things that you did this week. It could be granular. I got up 5 days this week and I made the bed, or 3 days or 2 days. It doesn't matter. Just like, sis, do you. Like, bro, pick something. Okay? It doesn't need to be grandiose. Like, it's not about winning the settlement from the lawyer. It's not about, making your goal for July. It doesn't have to be as grandiose. It's, I was able to take the kids to Sweet Frog. That's a win for me, because I was able to take, literally today, I was able to take the kids to, 5 and below, or below 5. I don't even know the name of the store. I was able to take them there for a little bit and celebrate, their hardworking chores that they did this week. I mean, because I left them to go to a meeting with my crew, and I left them with a bottle of bleach and some cleaner in the bathroom. And I was really thinking that I was going to come back to having stains all over my floor in my bathroom just be as worse as what it was before. But no, the kids did an amazing job this week, and I have to celebrate them because they did a really awesome job. And so I was able to take some time this afternoon and go to the, really is a more bougie dollar store, and celebrate what they were able to earn this week. And my son got him a clip-on microphone because he wants to have his own microphone when we do the podcast together. And my daughter got a bunch of shirts, and a bunch of other stuff. But what I'm getting at, bring it all home, to circumnavigate the other shoe falling. I get it. I'm waiting for it. And that's why I picked this subject. Like, things are going way too good. It's eerie. It's freaking me the fuck out. And I'm trying to stay positive because I know positivity has gotten me here, because each week we're sticking to the positive. And so you have to do that, because if you don't, negative breeds negative. Okay. So get out of your own head. First off, figure out something that was positive this week, and positive brings positive. So I say all that while I drink my new awesome drink that I have found this week from Crown Royal that my lovely husband found for me. They had it at our local Kroger, so I'm pretty sure you can find them most anywhere. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Thanks for helping me get to, this is episode 41, y'all. I am so proud that I have been able to stick with this for over a year now. Has it been consistent? Has it been the best quality? Fuck no. But here I am, therapeutically bitching into this mic and being here, because I know if I can navigate through some of these things, I know that I can help you navigate through some of these things. So thanks for tuning in. Love you all. Have a great night.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. I appreciate all of your love and support. If you really loved today's episode, you should subscribe. And if you subscribe, then you get notifications of when my next episode launches. So another way to be super awesome would be to leave a rating and review, or recommend it to your friends and family. If you're wicked awesome, you've already done all three. Another way to keep up with me and my crazy family is check out my website at chaoticcompass.com, and I do blog and other stuff there. So I appreciate everything for you guys. I do this for you, so keep it up, because the more you subscribe, the more I do.